Each year, the energy used in an average Australian home creates about 8 tonnes of greenhouse gas emissions. In the same year, an average household will use 211,000 litres of water, enough to fill more than 1,000 baths. There are many things you can do at home to consume less energy and water, which will help protect the environment and save you money.
Your fridge is potentially quite a high user of energy in your home, so you want to make sure it's running efficiently. First of all, keep it in a cool spot like this, away from direct sunlight, and make sure there's plenty of space for ventilation around the fridge so that the heat can escape. Keep the fridge itself to a constant 3 to 4 degrees. Any colder than that is a waste, and maybe minus 15 to minus 18 degrees for the freezer. And keep your seals in good condition. You can use a piece of paper to check the conditions of your seals. I'll just slip it in there. And if it holds well, your seals are in great condition. If it comes out easily, you might want to get your seals replaced to make sure that the cold isn't escaping. When you're looking for a new fridge, check the energy rating label. You want to get as many stars as you can. The more stars, the more energy efficient. And make sure you buy the right size fridge for your needs. If it's too big or too small, it's not going to run efficiently.
The most efficient cooktop is gas, but whether using gas or electricity, the energy-saving principles are the same.
Make sure you've got the right size pot for the burner so you're not wasting any heat, and keep the lids on while you're cooking. The most efficient way to cook is to simmer gently or steam rather than boiling rapidly. Or better still, use the microwave.
Heating and cooling your home can be a costly exercise, but with some careful management you can stay comfortable all year round without spending a fortune.
When you're choosing a heater, make sure you choose one that's the right size for the space you need to heat. For a small room like this, a portable heater like this one is quite suitable. If you need to heat a large open space, look for a gas central heater or else a reverse cycle air conditioner. And when you're choosing it, buy the highest star rating that you can find. Try to heat your room to about 21 degrees. If you have a thermostat, keep an eye on it. Don't overheat, because every extra degree adds about 10% to your bill.
The design of your house and the choice of building materials used will greatly affect the amount of heating and cooling required.
Insulation is very important. So if you've got insulation in your roofs, in your walls and your floors, it can mean that you can save up to 65% of the energy required to heat and cool your home, which is a big saving. Also, having a look at your windows and making sure you've got energy efficient glass or double glazing will mean that you can save on energy there.
Back a good few years ago, the common window was 3mm float glass. These days people are wanting to bring the outdoors in, and therefore bigger windows are now required by clients. Rather than have a small type window with the old 3mm glass in there, you can now get 6.38 grade A safety glass. So laminated glass now comes with what's called a low E coating on it, which stops the heat transfer through the glass, be it from the outside to in and inside to out. The good news is, now with all the types of glass available in today's market, we can now create that open plan living feel whilst retaining your energy efficiency.
Here we are in the bathroom, and the highest user of energy in your home is probably your water heater. And around half of the energy and water from the water heater goes through your shower head, so you want to make sure you've got an efficient shower head. Now I can tell by looking that this one is not efficient, but if you want to check, use a bucket and see how much water it uses in a minute. An old inefficient shower head will use 20 litres or sometimes more each minute. An efficient one will use 9 or less litres a minute. To minimise the amount of water that your toilet uses, the best thing to do is get a dual flush toilet, such as this, and use the half flush as often as you can. It uses half as much water. If you don't have a dual flush, you can reduce the amount of water in your flush by putting in a cistern weight or even a soft drink bottle filled with water. And if you're buying a new toilet, look at the water rating label. The more stars, the more water efficient your toilet will be.
Another thing you can do to save energy is to switch off all your electrical equipment at the power point when they're not being used.
Standby power is that power that your televisions and your computers use when you're actually not using them, but they're still on in the background. So for example, that little small red light on the television, a clock or a buzzing sound, that means that energy is being used. And even on your mobile phone charger. So make sure you turn these things off at the power point. That will save you about 10% on your energy bills each year.
So down in the basement here we found the water heater, and it's a very large electric system. An electric water heater like this is generally the largest user of energy in a home. Better choices for water heating are gas, solar or heat pump, which all use only around a third the energy and greenhouse gas emissions of a big electric system like this.
In Australia, over 90% of the energy is produced by burning fossil fuels such as coal. Consumers can now choose 100% green power.
Green power means that your electricity will be sourced from renewable sources such as the sun, the wind or plant material. And make sure when you ask your electricity supplier for green power that you ask for 100% accredited green power. Accreditation means that the government has accredited this green power renewable energy product, so you can be sure that you're helping the environment.
For more information, visit aboutthehouse.com.au.
A second fridge in your garage, like this one, could be costing you $200 a year to run. And if it's empty, why not switch it off and only switch it on again when you need it? A second fridge in your garage, like this one, could be costing you $200 a year to run. And if it's empty, why not switch it off and only switch it on again when you need it?